Last but certainly not least, Vickie L. Evans presents I Remember, which discusses one woman's recollection of the discovery of her mother's battle with the debilitating effects of dementia. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, 5.8 million people have Alzheimer's and related dementias. The view from a caregiver's lens can be touching, teary-eyed, and tedious.
Let me see. Where's my stockings? Where's my slip? Oh, there it is. I watched my mother go back and forth from her dresser to her bed, from her dresser to her bed. It took her almost an hour to lay out her clothes for Sunday service. Every Saturday night, she would lay out her Sunday best. She'd get her fancy hats, her stockings. Mama said, a woman always wears stockings. Her matching dresses and her high-heel shoes, and of course, her lap handkerchief. Listen, my mother was very meticulous. She had everything in a certain space, and nothing was never out of place. So her having difficulty finding her clothes was out of order. My mama was so meticulous that her drinks in her refrigerator, she lined them up by sizes. So that's when I knew that her temporary memory loss was not just a moment of forgetfulness. I knew that something was seriously wrong, and it had a long-term effect on her. Ruby Winfrey Barrage was born in Temple, Texas. She was the third child of Warren and Ruby Winfrey. She was named after her mother. I loved how my mom would name off her family member. She would say, you know, there's 5 of us. There's Theodore, his nickname was Zip, and Marion, and me, and Andrew, and my baby brother Clayton. See, Clayton ain't on that picture because he wasn't born yet. This was my introduction to the debilitating condition called dementia. Dementia eats away at your memory like an invisible termite, eating at the root and foundation of a beautiful edifice. I remember my mom. She was so beautiful. Everything about her was just in order. My mother lived in Tacoma, Washington for 45 years before I decided to bring her to Charlotte. She loved Tacoma. that her life was in Tacoma. That's where she met her husband of 37 years, Clarence Barrage. So ain't no way she would leave Tacoma to come to Charlotte. As the dementia progressed, Mom started getting lost in her car. One evening she decided, oh, I'm going to go to a church service over there on the other side of town. She never made it to that church service. She lost her sense of direction, and she could not remember where she was. Thankfully, she remembered my cousin's number, and she called her. It took us almost 2 hours to get her home, but we finally got her home. When my mom moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, the dementia got worse. She started sundown. I would hear her in the evening pushing her suitcase to the door. She would say, I gotta go catch a train. Listen, I used to call her Houdini because she was always trying to find some way to escape. Even though I had child protective locks on the door. I even had a Christmas bell on the door just in case she succeeded in opening that door, I would hear her. On one occasion, I decided to get up early in the morning and go for my morning walk. I would walk 5 laps around my apartment complex. Well, on the 3rd lap, I saw a woman standing at the gate with her cape on, flagging down cars. Can you take me to 1109 South 6th Street? I said, Lord have mercy, there goes my mom. Now the catch was the address she was using, 1109 South 6th Street in Temple, Texas. That was her childhood home. And she had not lived there in 70 years. It's surprising to me how she could not remember the present. She didn't know what day of the week it was, the time of day it was. She didn't even know her current location. But she fluently could speak her hometown address. Let me tell y'all something. Dementia sucks. It changes vibrancy to a bedridden shell of what used to be. Eventually, my mom started speaking. She stopped eating. But guess what? She never stopped smiling. On May 4th, 2022, 2 days before my birthday, 4 days before Mother's Day, my mother transitioned to her heavenly home. Oh, how I miss her, especially our conversations. But I remember Mama. I want to leave at this point how I remember my mother. I remember Mama. There's a song that says, I remember Mama in a happy way. Memories is all we have. I remember Mama, the bright light and joy she always brings. I remember Mama when the robins and the redbirds sing. I remember Mama, every memory will always be treasured. I remember Mama, she always had a wise word to say. I remember Mama, her profoundness would enlighten your day. I remember Mama, in my heart, she'll always stay. I remember Mama, forever and always, every day. Never forgotten. And